are going to get started. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so that you can see the same PowerPoint that we're going through so that you have this information. We have so many wonderful presenters tonight, and I want to make sure we give them ample time. Presenters, I have everybody muted right now, so when it gets to your turn, I'll make sure to unmute you so that we can make sure that you're available to present. All right, so again, my name is Amy Sislak, and I am so proud to be here. This is my first year. This is my 9th year as a high school principal. Before me at Tanque Verde, I was the principal and assistant principal at University High School and Tucson Unified, and prior to that, I was at Canyon Del Oro High School in Oro Valley in the Amphi district. What I think you'll ring true right here is that we have an outstanding and a really wonderful, outstanding, comprehensive high school. And what I mean by comprehensive high school, I mean a high school that gives everything, that you're going to be able to see fine arts, athletics, outstanding academics, outstanding CTE programs. You'll hear that we have per capita more of the CTE programs than any other high school in Tucson, perhaps second to Tucson High, which is a 3,500 student high school. So we have so many outstanding opportunities for students to pursue their passion, and we're just so thrilled to have you. All right, so we really are excited. High school it's a big deal. And so what you're gonna hear a lot about tonight is we're already talking about what is gonna happen after high school. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm still in middle school. We haven't even gotten to New Year's yet, and you're already planning my life and what's gonna happen when I graduate from high school. And I know that's a lot, but that's our job. And so we really wanna make sure that 100% of our students, when they graduate from Tanque Verde High School, that they have a plan. And you know what? Your plan can change and probably will change. I think anybody you talk to, your plan can change a lot, and that's okay. But we really want to make sure that you graduate super confident with the skills and ideas for what lies ahead, whether that's college, whether that's career, whether that's a blend of both, whether that's military. There's all kinds of opportunities, and our students are some of the most recruited students in the city for programs. We really want to make sure you're aware of it. So just some fun facts about our amazing school. So we are one of the elite high schools in Arizona. So when you hear about the top high schools in the state, we are one of them. We are proud that we do have this elite high school education that's comparable to some of the best prep schools in the country, and there's no tuition. So you get to attend a truly free public high school with all of these outstanding opportunities that are only available in some cities to really elite private schools. We are the only high school in the state that has a partnership with the Honors College at the University of Arizona. So currently we are collaborating with the University of Arizona Honors College to create a program where our students will be able to participate in Honors College curriculum while they're in high school. On our campus, as well as at the University of Arizona, that will lead to automatic admission into the U of A Honors College, which is pretty spectacular, and we're really proud that we are the school that the U of A wanted to partner with. We have very unique, and you'll hear tonight, college and career pathways through some outstanding college as well as career and technical education classes. We have 8 unique career and tech ed pathways. Our students' AP scores are amongst the highest in the state. So if you're a student that says, hey, I'm really interested in honors and AP classes, and it's really important to me to go to a high school that has strong AP programs, look no further. And this is coming from someone that has an extensive background in working with some of the best AP teachers in the nation. They're right here in your backyard. So you don't have to go far to experience these amazing programs. And we have an extremely talented and strategic college and career staff. Just today we found out that the governor's office in the state of Arizona is recognizing our counselors for being the most innovative counseling department in the state for the month of November. So you'll get to, if you're following us on Facebook and you've seen their videos, you'll know why, and you'll get to learn more about them as well. So what is to love about this outstanding school? So we're going to talk lots about these outstanding academic programs as well as extracurricular and student life. You'll hear from one of our outstanding students. It's important to note that because we're comprehensive, we do have it all. We have state ranked athletics. So 3 of the 4 fall sports that we have are coaches of the year this year. And so that is pretty unique and outstanding to say that for our little high school out here is making big time state attention, that we have the best swim program in East Tucson. We have the best girls volleyball team in East Tucson. And I would rival to say at 3-0 versus 1-0 that we can contend with the big boys when it comes to football this year. So we're really, really proud of our football. And that's not to say that our cross country team is also outstanding, that we had many, many members compete at the state level. So if those are some of the fall sports you're interested in, you're in good company. In addition to that, we also have golf, basketball, soccer, baseball, and softball, as well as tennis to look forward to. We also have outstanding award-winning fine arts programs. It's a picture of our marching band at U of A Band Day. We have, in addition to being involved in theater, you're going to learn today that you can be in Stagecraft. So if you really want to be a part of the theater group, but you don't want to be on stage, there's amazing, outstanding opportunities for you to learn about really the career and the tech end of it, as well as getting to be involved with an amazing program. Studio art classes, AP Art History, choir, orchestra, band. We both have marching as well as jazz and concert, drumline, and color guard. So what do students enjoy about Tanque Verde High School? So I'm really lucky. I meet with about 30 high school students for lunch every Friday, and they've been giving me some outstanding feedback on what do they love about our school and what are some ways that we can always improve in our school. And time again, what our students say is they love the fact that we are small, we are an intimate campus, we are kind, and that is something that you're going to see on this campus. We're no nonsense. We're not dealing with bullying. We don't have that. And if that occurs, we're not putting up with it. This is a place where students want to work hard, want to have fun, they want to take risks, they want to be silly, they want to do all of those things so they can really enjoy their high school experience without worrying about some of the nonsense that occurs in other high schools. I put on here, working hard and being smart is cool. And I think you'll find that that it's a really big deal that we see students of all backgrounds celebrating one another when they're successful. We have a Student of the Month program where we recognize our students' hard work and dedication and kindness. And I'm seeing students walk past the bulletin board on campus where their pictures are posted and making comments of like, oh, that girl's so nice, or that guy works so hard and they so deserve it. And I'm constantly hearing this really positive affirmations from students that are really excited to support one another. We have lots and lots of specialty classes and programs, award-winning teachers, outstanding clubs, and spectacular fine arts programs. So with that being said, it's also important, we have all of the student life that's outstanding and exciting, but it's also important to have a really robust 4-year plan. Like I said, we are here to start preparing you for what's next. That doesn't mean you have to start packing your bags already. We're not telling you to move out of home, but we really want you to feel confident and excited about what the future might lie ahead, and know with confidence that we are giving you those skills so that you can be successful. Again, we talked about having really outstanding honors and advanced placement classes, as well as dual enrollment. With our dual enrollment, we partner with Pima Community College, which means it's free. So we have students that are graduating from high school with college credit that they did not have to pay a dime for. And that's really important when you are going on to the next level, being able to eliminate some of that cost of tuition, as well as showing colleges and universities that you are a student, that you know how to work hard, that you have those soft skills so that you can really excel. A dynamic career and tech program, expanded lab sciences. This is actually a lab that just happened last week where students were measuring the energy that we get from food. There's many technical elements that I could tell you, but they're actually lighting a Cheeto on fire in this picture to see what kind of energy a Cheeto produces versus a marshmallow and versus a peanut. So it was a pretty fun lab. Expanded fine and performing arts programs, world languages. We are also expanding our world language program next year to include additional languages, unique student success program during freshman, and for you, it'll also be available your senior year. So your freshman year, our counselors will talk more about this amazing class, but we really have a class dedicated just for you as freshmen to really talk about what does it mean to be a Tanque Verde Hawk? What does it mean to be a student at this school, so that you have this support system to help you through your freshman year. And then for you, your senior year, you will have another one that's called Student Success 2 that will be dedicated solely to filling out college applications, helping you with your resume development, your scholarship applications. Because those of you in the room who've had a senior before know that those can be some intense evenings at home. And if we can take some of that stress off your plate and have experts work with you to help your student perform all of those necessary senior tasks, that's important. We are the only traditional public high school I know that has a class like that that's built into the school day. And that will include built-in time for scholarships, apply to college and get one-on-one guidance on college essays and applications. And we also have some outstanding physical education and weight training, including Outventure outdoor sports, which is a spectacular class that our students really enjoy. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to our counseling staff. And so I'm going to unmute them right now. I just asked to unmute you guys. Okay, perfect. So I'd like to introduce Ms. Tammy Kelly and Ms. Meg Syeth.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm so glad that you can join us for our virtual open house. So I am one of the school counselors, and Meg Syeth is the other one. So it's a two-person team as of right now. So we're very, very excited to tell you a little bit about what a comprehensive counseling program looks like at Tanque Verde High School. So this is a model that we try to follow as best as possible. Obviously, we are a little flexible this year because of COVID and what that looks like for hybrid learning and so forth. But we follow the American School Counselor Association national model. What that means is that as school counselors, Mrs. Syeth and myself get to work with each and every student on campus. And we focus on some different areas. We get to, first of all, the big thing is really evaluate our program to make sure that we are meeting the needs of all of our students and our families. And we focus on academics. We focus on post-secondary, so college and career readiness. And then we also focus on the social emotional domains. And so some of those of what that could look like, with academics, that's where we're progress monitoring. We're working with students on how they're doing in their classrooms. If they're struggling, we can work with them, work with the teachers on, okay, what are some strategies that we can put in place to help you be successful in your classes. With the post-secondary, and Mrs. Syeth will talk a little bit more in the second slide, but the post-secondary, again, that's all about college and career readiness. So not all students may go on to a four-year college. So we work with them on what will their post-secondary pathway look like. Will it be a two-year, a trade school, tech school, military, right into a career choice and so forth. And then with that social emotional domain, that's where, we're checking in on students, seeing how they're doing, increasing their social skills, communication skills, conflict resolution, anger management, respect. There's tons of information that we can go on about with those areas. And so with this national model, we're really being able to focus our interventions, our strategies, so that we're using our time efficiently. So that, again, we're able to work with all students in these four areas. So when you come to Tanque Verde High School as a ninth grader, we work with you on a four-year plan. So a four-year plan may look a little bit different depending on what your post-secondary option could look like. So with that, oops, sorry about that. So with the four-year plan, we're talking about what does your ninth grade year look like, 10th grade year, 11th grade year, and your senior year. And so as we start exploring, what your post-secondary plans are, we then match those four-year plans based on what Mrs. Syeth and I are working with you on. So we want to make sure that when you graduate, you have the courses that you need, that you've been doing what you're supposed to match going into the military or college or a tech school or anything of that nature. We do credit checks throughout the school year. So progress grades, quarterly grades, semester grades, You know, if a student ends up not passing a class, failing, what does that look like? What does that mean? We work with the family and the students on helping support them on those options. As Dr. Sislak was talking about, that freshman student class, that is mandatory for all ninth graders. It is a fantastic class for freshmen to take because transitioning from junior high, middle school to high school, that is a really big deal. It's a huge transition and there's more independence that's put on you. The workload looks different. The work that the teachers are collaboratively working with you on, it's different than what you've had in middle school, junior high. So in that student success class, we work with you, the teacher works with you on career exploration. So what kinds of things are you interested in, your hobbies and so forth. There's personality inventories that we work with you on because, you know, we're all unique individuals. We all have different personality traits, which is great and exciting. But how do you work with someone who is very different from you, personality-wise? Because there's a lot of collaboration that goes on in high school with team projects and so forth. We work on study skills. So how do you study when you're in high school? How do you take notes? You take notes at all? Well, we're going to work with you on that. We do test-taking strategies. And again, the biggest piece is, what do you need to do to be successful in all your 4 years of high school? We've got our career exploration, you know, that we've mentioned, the college exploration. So researching not just our fantastic in-state universities, but what are some colleges and universities that you might want to consider outside of Arizona? And then we talk about scholarships with you and how families can look at out-of-state colleges because of scholarship opportunities. We do career cafes, and Mrs. Scythe can talk a little bit more about this. We have visits by post-secondary institutions. And then that senior student class where you're working on college apps, you're looking at resumes. We're continuing that career exploration piece to really finalize things before you get that diploma in your hand. We do individual counseling, crisis counseling, small group counseling. I mean, we do tons of things to really try to help support you in your 4 years of high school. And Mrs. Scythe, for the next slide, she can delve in a little bit deeper with the career cafes and the secondary visits for colleges and so forth. I thought she was on here.
Sorry.
Okay, she is.
There I am. I didn't want you to hear my dog in the background. Good evening, Future Hawks, I said earlier, and welcome. I'm super excited to meet you all. Can't wait to meet you in person. We have a fantastic college and career program. I'm just so blessed to be at Tanque Verde High School. My background is private education and some public and charter education. So this is truly a prep school at no charge. And so we really work on with freshmen, the freshmen coming in, transitioning to high school, those skills, the time management, the organization. We like to work with our sophomores and career inventories and resume building. Our juniors we're teaching in classrooms as much as we'd like to now. You know, it's difficult now, but we're doing an awesome job with that in credit checks and post-secondary plans and test taking and things like that. And senior year, I'm super excited about the success student success class, because that's not just a college focus, it's a career focus, it's a resume focus, it's an internship focus. It's going to be based on the students' needs and what their plans are. But our whole goal is to really work with your ninth grader all the way to 12th grade and really position that your student so they can showcase themselves to the best of their abilities when it comes to their senior year. So first semester career cafes, we've had some really fun things. We've had commercial real estate members come in, communications. We've had medical representatives, pediatrics, physical therapy therapists come in. We've had veterinarians, small business entrepreneurs coming in to talk to our students. Mrs. Hilley's done an awesome job of setting that up on Fridays. We've had engineers and healthcare leadership. We're having an FBI agent coming in. And so this is something that we're really, Mrs. Hilley is working so well with gathering community members to help support our career focus with in our college and career program. our first semester visits, we have had U of A Honors, we've had ASU, Barrett the Honors College, we've had NAU talking about NAU's Honors College, we've had Penn State, Embry-Riddle, Northeastern Washington State, so much, New Mexico State, talking to the students, the Arizona, you know, our seniors about, look, there's so many opportunities for, like in New Mexico, did you know that as an Arizona student, you can get in-state tuition? Big deal. So we're really working on educating the students with the college vocabulary too. What is a FAFSA? So if you look at some of these pictures, we've done a FAFSA drive, and it's really getting the students to push forward for applying for scholarships, but they have to do a FAFSA, which is like applying for federal financial aid. So that puzzle piece at the bottom, the things we focus on in 9th grade is GPA is really, really important. Your grade point average, and we teach freshmen how to calculate a grade point average. And I like to associate a grade point average as like a paycheck. Do you want to make, you know, a lot of money? If you want to make a lot of money, you're going to be earning that 3.5 to a 4.0 GPA. Okay, because at the end, when you apply for scholarships, when you apply to colleges, you're going to automatically be rewarded with your efforts with merit scholarships, things that you don't have to pay back. We talk about our students' interests, and that plays into the career. What is your interest? Our curriculum is, and CTE and elective classes are really honing in on providing passion and interests for students. We work on the college essay. I've done a couple college essay workshops with the students. Parents are always invited. The extracurricular is very important, and to take on a leadership role, especially in your sophomore, junior, and senior years. We talk about letters of recommendation, how to request one, how much time to provide, what a senior brag sheet looks like. And then we talk about test scores and preparatory tests and AP tests and PSAT, and to kind of integrate the test with the grade point average. It's not everything, but Tanque Verde does a fantastic job with really meeting the academic athletes, the academic fine arts experts, musicians, so they're really meeting the whole person. So we really look forward to working with you and your family, and we Tanque Verde works. I love the fact that we work together as a team, counselors, teachers, parents, students. That's all I have. Thank you.
I could have talked for 10 minutes and no one gestured at me. This is like the 2020 curse. Again, we just want to emphasize how important it is that we about this freshman transition, and we know. And that's why it's so important to have these processes in place, because we don't do freshman Fridays here and freshmen in the trash cans and all these horror stories that you hear about at other schools and in movies. It's really about bringing freshmen in, and our students and our upperclassmen are constantly telling me how important it is to them that they really want freshmen to feel part of our culture. They want to feel involved. They really want them to feel taken care of and supported. And so, you know, in addition to these programs that we have for student success, we have these other fun opportunities with freshman orientation programs, lots of mentoring, spirit stick competitions, freshman activities, assemblies, retreats, and all these things that really make it fun to be a high school student. At this time, I really am excited. I want to introduce our Director of CTE, Ms. Sarah Jean.
Okay, hi everyone. As she said, my name is Sarah Jean, and I oversee 8 awesome CTE programs here at Tanque Verde. The list is in front of you, the classes that we offer. The 2 that freshmen can take are Stagecraft and Agri-Science. Stagecraft is a fantastic class if you're not sure you want to be an actor, but you love the theater. They work on building set design, light design, costume, sound. I'm going to let Mr. Copley talk to you a little bit more about that in just a minute because he's here this evening. Agri-Science is a 4-year program. You can take up to 4 years, or you can take fewer, however it fits into your schedule and based on your interest level. A lot of people think that as an ag class, it's all about becoming a rancher or a farmer, and it can be, but all of our programs really, not just agri-science, can lead to any number of careers. So I don't want you to get tied up with the title of the class and think that the title of the class will only prepare you for that career. All of them can lead into dozens and dozens of different careers as you get started on your career pathway. You can see the list there, so I'm not going to read it for you, but we have a great variety of programs and all kinds of different pathways that you can take. You can take multiple different CTE classes while you're on our campus, and even within the same year if you have time in your schedule to do that. So what makes CTE different is that we do offer it. Can you go to the next slide for me, Amy? Mm-hmm. Is that you can take it 1 year. If you take something and you don't like it or you want to try something else, you're certainly welcome to do that. But they really function best as 2 or 3 year programs. If you take both years, is when you really get the full benefits of the career preparation and the college preparation side of CTE. They're super hands-on classes. You have at least 55% hands-on learning in these classes where you're actually doing things. You're operating tools in Stagecraft. You are doing veterinary examinations in agri-science. You are building things with 3D printers and mechanical drafting. There's not a lot of sitting around. It's you getting up and playing with tools and learning how to do new cool things. The classes also focus a lot on professional skills lessons where we also are teaching resume skills. We do a lot of mock interviews with business and industry partners from around Tucson. We talk about just professional skills like punctuality and responsibility and figuring out pay benefits versus the level of education required in a career that you might be looking at. We talk a lot about the current job markets and any of the careers you might be interested in taking. So there's, you know, like I said, we have a program called mechanical drafting, but that doesn't just teach you to be a drafter. It can lead to careers in engineering and design and landscape planning and all kinds of amazing, you know, just branches from every single program. We offer student certifications with all of our CTE programs as well. If you take that second year of the program, then we give you a test and you get a certificate that can lead to real world employment. So for example, our NIMS test through precision machining, if you take that and pass it, you have a certificate that can qualify you to go into the construction industry the day you're out of high school. So the SolidWorks certification is really a popular software for engineering, drafting, architecture, design students. So we give you those certificates. You're leaving high school with a certificate that can help you get a job in the field that you want to. And then all of our programs offer membership in what we call a CTSO, which is a student organization. That's what's featured on this page. We have 5 CTSOs currently running. The FFA is with AgriScience, Skills USA, HOSA, DECA, and the Thespian Society. And what you do with those is you go to competitions. Right now they're all running through Zoom, so it's not the best year for in-person competitions, but we have great plans. We're really hoping that by this summer, our students might be able to do some small scale in-person competitions. But in a regular year, you know, they travel to Phoenix, to Sierra Vista, to Prescott, and they compete with kids all over the state. Kids are interested in the same thing that you're in. And more importantly, at those competitions, business and industry representatives are there. You might go to a national competition and come home with a job, with a career. So they're really amazing opportunities to meet people and make networking connections through those. We consistently send kids to national competitions. Our students in DECA have traveled to Atlanta. Skills USA kids often meet in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's just a great opportunity to meet people beyond just, you know, what you would meet in your normal day. So if you're interested in any of those, we do have our website for CTE, and you can email me anytime. I can get you in touch with teachers to ask specific questions about programs that you may have. But I think that our CTE program is exceptional here. We have a lot of offerings, and we keep the classes small. We have expert teachers in all of our categories, and it's a really great opportunity for you to take. I did want to clarify, like the first 2 programs, Stagecraft and AgriScience, you can take as a 9th grader. The rest of them you can start at 10th grade. And that's still plenty of time to take the full program and get the full benefit of the experience. So, and with that, back to you, Dr. Sislak, or on to Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute Mr. Copley and have him jump in.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Sislak. My name is Mr. Copley, and I am currently in my 4th year at Tanque Verde High School teaching theater and stagecraft. And the basics on theater and stagecraft is they live in the same world. They are two sides of the same coin, essentially. The theater classes that I teach are specifically the performance side of things. So if a student is particularly into the idea of getting in front of people and performing, if they like to entertain the crowds, if they're into the idea of exploring what I refer to as the machine that is themselves and making these amazing discoveries about their machine and what it is actually capable of, then Theater 1, otherwise known as beginning of theater, is definitely something they may be interested in. On the flip side is stagecraft, and stagecraft is where we do everything else that happens in the theater outside of performance. We do everything to support our performers. So this is everything including lighting and sound design, costuming, scenic work, props, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. We do everything that happens backstage. So for those students who are really excited about the notion of live performance and theater, and they like that world, they're just not certain they want to get on stage in front of people, then stagecraft is definitely the place. It is where we do a lot of work with our hands. We operate power tools and tech boards. We do a lot of thinking on our feet, a lot of problem solving and creating from the ground up. So we start with ideas and then we go through the process up until we make it into a reality. So just this last year, or I guess earlier this year, back in March, we were fortunate enough to just barely squeeze under the cutoff for the quarantine. We were able to do our production of Little Shop of Horrors back in March. And basically we closed on March 14th, and some of the students haven't been back since. So we just barely made it, but it was a fantastic show, and there's a couple pictures there for you of the cast, and of course Audrey too, the huge man-eating plant that we had to figure out. So those are the two sides of theater, theater and stagecraft. And I find students who are very into the performance side versus students who are very into the technical side. And then occasionally students find they like both. And then it can be really interesting when students find out they like the one they didn't think they would like quite as much. That's always kind of fun. All of the students, whether in theater or stagecraft, they are encouraged to join the International Thespian Society, which allows for them to compete in different festivals and conferences and events that go on throughout the year, and they are recognized as thespians at an international level. What we try to go to, there's 2 festivals we attend each year. There's some pictures there again. The top one in the pink there is our students at the Arizona State Theater Festival. It happens in Phoenix, typically in November. And that is the state level competition. And then we also have a regional competition that happens right here in Tucson at the University of Arizona. And that one usually happens in January. And of course, this year being the way things are, those are not happening at quite the same. We're still trying to make some stuff happen. What I should tell you, I'm a huge fan of theater. I think that goes without saying, but I've been doing it since I was in 2nd grade. And I happen to know for a fact that it can be beneficial to anyone who pursues it for any reason whatsoever, regardless of their interests and their ultimate goals. It's proven that students who participate in theater do better academically, and it helps to promote self-confidence and well-being, and it just helps to create a well-rounded person. And I do want to mention that while I love theater as much as I do, and I want to encourage all incoming freshmen to consider theater or stagecraft or both. I want to make sure that we point out that we also have some other fantastic fine arts programs here as well. Dr. Sislak mentioned them at the beginning here. And whether the students are interested in the performing arts versus the visual arts, if they like to build, sculpt, paint, draw, if they're more interested in music and they want to sing, or they love a particular instrument, whatever it may be, we have it here at Tanque Verde. And your student will find their niche, whatever it may be. And like Ms. Jane said previously, you are more than welcome to hunt me down, find me, email me, bug me, whatever it may be. I'm more than happy to answer questions and get to know you all. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I wanted to introduce, I'm looking for Zoe, there you are. One of our seniors is here to chat with you about her experience as a student.
Hi everyone, my name is Zoe Montano and I'm a senior at Tanque Verde High School. I actually joined the Tanque Verde School District my freshman year of high school, so yes, I was a little bit later than some of the other students, but I absolutely love my high school. A little bit of my background was that I moved around a lot during my middle school and elementary school years. I'd gone to private school, I'd gone to charter school. In fact, I was even homeschooled for a few years. So definitely moving to Tanque Verde High School was very different for me, and I wouldn't take it back for the world. Originally, I was a little bit, concerned and stressed out about going to Tanque Verde High School just because it had a reputation of being a small school. I was afraid of, how was I going to make friends? Was I going to fit in? How was I going to be able to reach my goals and aspirations in a new environment? And I just want to say, from the moment I stepped on campus, all of my anxieties went away. What I believe is so unique about Tanque Verde High School is the fact that, yes, we are a small campus, but more than anything, we're a big family. The social environment at Tanque Verde High School makes me love my high school. The community at our school makes me want to be involved. The staff and teachers have created a space for learning, growth, and encouragement. I've countless talks with my teachers about college, about job opportunities, and ways for me to be more involved in our school. And the staff at Tanque Verde works even harder to foster an environment for every student to reach their full potential. Now, with that said, I've been encouraged to join many different clubs and organizations on campus, as I'm sure you can see from the photos. This was pre-COVID, so no masks. And the staff at Tanque Verde has really encouraged me to, branch out. Clubs were a great way for me to meet different friends. I've been a part of the National Honor Society, DECA organization, theater troupe, student council, and my personal favorite club, Mock Trial. And I originally wasn't planning to join so many clubs, but with the countless opportunities we have at our high school, it's hard not to. I can say probably everyone on campus is in at least one club, if not two. So finding your niche and really exploring what you like at Tanque Verde High School is easy to do. What really brought me and my family to Tanque Verde was as I'm sure you heard, countless AP and honors courses offered. I'm planning to go to a four-year college, so that was incredibly important for my school. If that's not your thing, don't worry about that. Regular classes give the same quality of education. All our teachers dedicate their time, all of their energy, and will stay after to help you reach your goals. With the help of the teachers and staff at Tanque Verde High School, I filed for the Quest Bridge application. I've applied to Tulane, the University of San Francisco, the University of San Diego, as well as the U of A Honors Program. Go Wildcats. I just want to say I love Tanque Verde High School, and I'm sure you will too. I'm proud to call myself a Tanque Verde High School student, and I'm proud to call it my home, but more than anything, I'm proud to call Hawks my family. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Zoe. Okay, I wanted to introduce, we talked about that we had 3 of the city's top coaches for just this fall. So I want to introduce you to one of them. So I'm here to introduce you to one of our teachers as well as our coach of our top ranked girls volleyball program, Mr. Shingler.
Hi, everybody. My name's Adam Shingler. I have a first name, but usually people call me Mr. Shingler. I tell my students that I'm like, you can call me Mr. Shingler, but my athletes can call me Adam. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our volleyball program and then a little bit about the sports at Tanque Verde also. Here's a little bit about my background. I'm actually an alumni from Saguaro High School. I went there for high school back in the day. And I've been an East Sider. I've lived on the East Side my whole life. And so coming to Tanque Verde was kind of cool for me because it's right in my backyard that I didn't know it was right in my backyard. But for me, as a high school student, I actually went to private school, K through 8, and I went to Saguaro for high school. And I think it's a cool thing to come from a private school to a public school because you really get to see what like real life is all about. I feel like sometimes at private schools, you're kind of sheltered in your own little bubble, and you get to see like one section of life. But when you go to public school, you get to meet people from different backgrounds with different experiences. And I think that really helped me grow as an individual during some pretty important years in a young adult's life. And then I went to college at the University of Arizona, and I actually did my student teaching when I decided I wanted to be a teacher at Tanque Verde. And I did my student teaching under the person that you're going to hear from next, Mr. Samoy, back in 2016. So I learned the ropes from him and was super grateful that I was able to learn from him. But then I went off and I taught at Saguaro for a couple of years, went back to my alma mater. Even though I said I never was going to be that person, I went back and I actually became co-workers with some of my teachers. So that's a good story. But what I want to say is that I left Saguaro, which was like super close to me and super home for me. And I also coached at Saguaro and I came to Tanque Verde because of a couple of things. One, I wanted to be at a place that shared my belief about being the best, and also fostering a love of growth and development, both for students and staff. And I felt like Tanque Verde is that place where if you want to learn how to grow as kind of a person and as an individual, that's kind of this is the place to be. And if you are competitive like me and you want to be the best at whatever you want to be, I feel like it's a good place to be too, because you're going to be around individuals that want to do that, whether that's your teachers, whether that's your friends, the administration, other students that you don't know that hopefully you will know, get to know in your next 4 years. This is kind of the place to be. So my experience being at Tanque Verde, both as a teacher and a coach, it's been super exciting because I think you see a foundation of success and excellence with the school. But recently, specifically with sports, I think we have a lot of really cool stuff that has happened within the last couple of years and also is gonna happen in the next couple of years too. So I teach history, and I like to give a little bit of a background about like history of things and kind of like current events. That's what we do in my class. So I did a little bit of research myself, and I went through the different sports because I am representing the sports side of it. And I just want to give you guys a background about our sports at Tanque Verde because I think that you guys are going to be impressed with this like top-notch culture that we're trying to form at Tanque Verde when it comes to student athletes, specifically competing in Tucson and then on the state level. So like Dr. Sislak was saying before, our football team this year was undefeated, right? Doesn't matter how many games we played, we were undefeated, which is super cool because the last couple of years we haven't won very many games, if any, but this year was a huge turnaround, and it's a totally different culture with our head coach and those guys, and they worked really hard, and it's cool stuff, and it's exciting to see that in the next couple of years. I think we're going to rival a lot of programs in Tucson, and that's super exciting. For volleyball, specifically girls volleyball, we've won the region the 3 out of the last 4 years. This was my first year here at Tanque Verde. So in the past couple of years, they've won the region for 3 of the last 4. They've had 2 players signed in the last 3 years to go play in college. We have one this year that is going to be signing to go play in college pretty soon. And then with, like Dr. Sislak mentioned before, we have several state recognized swimmers and cross-country runners. Our boys team is poised to make the state playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. And actually 2 years ago, not last year, but the year before, they didn't win any games. And last year they made a huge turnaround and they went to the state playoffs. And then this year they're poised to go to the state playoffs also. And then our girls basketball team, I didn't know this. I knew that they were good, but they've been to the state playoffs for the last 5 years, and they've had multiple college athletes go to college, sign on to universities to go play in the last 5 years. Baseball and softball have also made significant strides the last couple of years. And the cool thing is baseball's actually undergone a field renovation this season. They got some new sand in there. The field looks pristine. They've been watering it every day, and it looks amazing. You go take a nap on there. I kind of want to take a nap on there during my planning period, but I haven't had the courage to go and do that. I won't do that, I promise. But
You can tell you're a volleyball guy. It's called a clay turf. It's called clay infield. It's not sand.
Yeah, see, I used to play baseball back in the day, but not anymore. Thank you, Dr. Sisak, for telling me that. I didn't know that. So I'm going to kind of focus on volleyball for a second, but that's a snapshot of all of our sports. We got really cool things happening, and it's super exciting. If you're into sports and you're like, I want to go to a high school where I can be competitive, I'm going to learn, there's going to be good coaches, and there's going to be awesome people there. Tanque Verde's kind of like, I want to say that up-and-coming high school, but really we've been here for a couple of years. It just depends on what sport you're talking about, but it's super cool, and I think we got a good foundation for some really exciting couple of years moving forward. And I'm going to talk about volleyball specifically because I am the volleyball coach. I came to Tanque Verde. I left Saguaro. I was at Saguaro for 8 years, and I came to Tanque Verde because it's a really exciting program. They have good foundation for success. There's a lot of individuals here who want to win and who also care about creating a good program. And it lured me over for somewhere that I have close to my heart and was near and dear to me. But we have a program full of athletes that work hard. They want to be good. They're super competitive, and they're used to winning. We have a culture of winning and success within the program. But with that, we also have a program full of athletes that care about each other and teammates that care about each other. So yes, we can be competitive, but we're also going to have fun. We're going to care about each other, and we're going to make sure we're all good on several different levels there. You guys can look at our stats right there. I did a little bit of research too. Like I said, this is my first year at Tanque Verde as the volleyball coach, but I've seen them kind of grow and develop over my years over at Saguaro. And we have a culture of success. So in the last 5 years, we have a 70-4 overall regular season record. We won the region 3 years in a row. This last year, we came runners up in this COVID season. We have 3 region player of the years from 2017 to 2019. We have 1 all-conference first team player of the year, which is all of the players in the state. We had 1 player in the last couple of years make that team, 1 player make the second team for all state. And then in the last 5 years, we've had 10 first team all region players, 10 second team all region players. We've had 4 straight coach of the year honors. And then we've had 2 college commitments in the last couple of years with Ainsley Malice and Madison Wilson. Maddie is going to be signing pretty soon. And that's going to be our second college one right there. So we have a culture of success. We have a coaching staff that is experienced with working with athletes that have college aspirations. We've coached athletes that have gone to college. I tried to count up the number, but I couldn't count up the number over the last 8 years, how many we've coached going to college. But if that's something that you're interested in, whether it's volleyball, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, basketball, whatever, I think Tanque Verde is the place to go because we have those coaches that have that experience and care about athletes. And then we also, I think, which is the fun part of this, is we have a culture that we develop both a love of learning from failure, but also have a mindset of being a risk taker. And what I mean by that is not going out and breaking rules and like getting in trouble, but taking risks to get better as individuals, to learn both in their sport, but also as people, how to be successful by failing. And I think a lot of the times, especially in our culture now, people don't want to fail. They want to be perfectionists, and that's not the real case in life. And so we develop that culture and we foster that. And I think all the sports at Tanque Verde have that in them. So if you're super into sports and athletics and you want to go that route, I think Tanque Verde is the one to go to. And I know that sometimes when you hear adults speak, you're like, yeah, that's kind of boring. You're so much older than me. I kind of tuned out 5 minutes ago, but I want you guys real quick to get a word from one of our athletes, if that's okay, Dr. Sislak. We have one of our varsity athletes here who's actually in the program right now. She's been in the program for the last 3 years. Her name's Abigail Weeks. She's been a 3-year varsity athlete but she's also an AP student. She's taken several AP courses. She plays multiple sports in golf, softball, volleyball. And I just wanted her to give a little blurb about what it's like actually being a student athlete at Tanque Verde, because I'm not a student athlete. I'm just the coach, the guy that gets to give all the directions. So Dr. Sislik, is that okay that we unmute Abby there? Awesome. Abby, I think you're up.
Hi, my name is Abby Weeks, and I'm a junior this year. So I've been on varsity for volleyball for all 3 years, and I've been to state playoffs for 3 years. Personally, I think that this is the best team environment that I've been around, and the coaching staff and players and everyone in the program is just very welcoming. You'll experience a lot of encouragement from everyone. It doesn't matter like what team you're on, whether like what skill level you have. And every day at practice, you don't really worry about messing up. You're just there to improve your volleyball skills, but you also want to strengthen other things such as your mindset and mentality, your attitude and your leadership. And I think this all goes towards being a well-rounded person. Personally, I struggled with my attitude for all the years that I've played sports with all my sports. And this program has definitely been the one that has helped me improve the most. And just overall, everyone wants you to succeed at both their sport you're playing and in school. Thank you.
So if you guys if you guys want to compete, you want to do well, you want to get kind of to the next level, Tanque Verde is the place to you. We're super excited to have you guys hopefully in the future, fingers crossed. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay. And then our last presenter of the evening, I'd really love to introduce you to our state champion mock trial coach and our American history teacher, Mr. Jeremy Samoy. He's also a finalist for the University of Arizona's Outstanding Teacher of the Year. So we're really excited.
All right, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay, Dr. Sislak? Okay, cool. I have these headphones in because I'm hoping my kids upstairs are going to be quiet and that they don't totally interrupt my presentation. So I'm excited to be here. I'm glad that you guys took some time out of your busy week to join us. And I'm going to talk about two things in particular. Number one, our amazing standing AP program. Number two, favorite, and I like that Zoe gave us a shout out, and I stole your picture, Zoe, but our mock trial team. So as far as AP goes, we have a really robust course offering. We have classes in English, in social studies, in science, right? And not only do we have the AP programs, but we also have honors and dual enrollment. But I'm not going to go through each of the lists. We're just going to talk more about the experience of being an AP student. So why would you sign up for an AP class? Like, what are the benefits for you, right? There's the added rigor, right? These AP courses are meant to be more rigorous, more challenging, to make you think more critically. They absolutely prepare you to be ready for college, right? Sometimes that first semester in college can hit you like a truck. And if you put in the groundwork and you do these AP programs, a lot of times you'll be more prepared when you go off to college. And then the other benefit is, you know, if you do a dual enrollment class, and you pass, then you will have college credit. And with the AP classes, there's the potential, if you pass the AP exam, to earn college credit in some of the gen ed classes. And so that's a really big benefit and quite a cost saver for the parents, right? You pay a $95 fee for the test, and you could possibly save, you know, several hundred, if not $1,000 for 3 college credits, right? And so I could drone on and on about how great AP is and why you should do it, but I figured it's better, like Adam said, to hear it from the horse's mouth. So I actually reached out to some of my AP students, and I think that's one of the benefits of being an AP is that you really make a close bond with your teacher. And so I reached out to some of my old students and I asked them just a simple question: what are the benefits of being an AP, or like, what did you gain from being an AP? So I'm going to read a few of their comments, and I was going to try to limit it, but their comments were so great, I felt like I should just share them all. So one student mentioned that it gave her the opportunity to talk to people that have a similar drive to be successful in school. So you really kind of surround yourself with other motivated individuals. Another student said it helped prepare me to study for college and the more challenging exams, to be ready for discussions, which I have to do 3 to 5 times a week in college. So just kind of being in the mode of what college looks like. Another student said to analyze topics more deeply, right, which has served him well as good practice for college. And then here, these ones are really juicy ones, so stay with me for these last ones. So they said, taking AP classes really got me used to taking notes outside of classes, which is extremely helpful for when I'm reading a chapter from my. It also helped me to learn to think critically when learning a new topic. Basically, instead of just memorizing the information I was told, I was actually understanding it, right? And that's something that we really strive for, is understanding. It's not just about grades. It's not just about passing the test. It's about learning the information. This other student said it helped me prepare for college by tackling bigger tasks on my own, such as more in-depth readings, being able to come together in a class and talk about it critically. Also, just being able to work with others in general, collaborating with other students and being able to communicate with them effectively to convey my ideas and thoughts. So that whole idea of collaboration, the idea of thinking critically, those are skills no matter what your career path is. Those are skills that will make you immensely successful. And then this is the last one. The student said, I'd say AP classes prepared me for college in the sense that I was given opportunities to demonstrate my skills and acquire new ones as the years went on. I also became familiar with a bigger workload and was able to better time manage and keep stress levels under control. My teacher's guidance was also vital for understanding topics and being more adept for future college courses. And so I think those students really summarize the benefits of being in an AP class and being in an AP course. Is it harder? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Absolutely, right? These are classes that are going to challenge you. They're going to shape you. They're going to mold you. And the beautiful thing is the teachers are there with you, right? This is not like a sink or swim type situation. It's not you go figure it out on your own. There's scaffolding built in to kind of help students be successful. Like Adam was saying, in sports, it's okay to take risks. And in class, it's okay to take risks. It's okay to challenge yourself. And it's our job as teachers to help guide you there, right? And so teachers really provide a lot of great support in these AP classes. I know several teachers will host Saturday review sessions before the exam. They're staying after school. They're meeting you during lunch. I mean, we really care about the students and about the goals that they have in place, and we want them to be successful. And so I think, you know, when you're looking at what courses to sign up for, think about challenging yourself, right? Think about pushing yourself and growing, because that's really what's important. It's not always just about taking the easy road. Sometimes it's better to take the road less traveled. So the AP classes are amazing. I think a lot of people have already hit on this, like why Tanque Verde is such a great school. I know why I personally love working there. It's amazing to be at a place that's really focused on academics, striving for excellence. That's something that you've heard throughout the night. And the fact that I'm surrounded by teachers who are super committed, not only to their students, but also their craft, right? We take teaching seriously. We understand that it's a process and that it's something to continue to grow and get better and better. And I think it's an amazing place to be. So that's my AP spiel. And then let's talk real quick about my mock trial class, which I guess that's why we put it at the end, because it is the best class. So we saved the best for last. It's a super amazing class. If you can't tell by the name, we basically dress up and pretend to be lawyers, right? So we get a case. We actually got our new case today. I have it printed here, ready to read. And then we pretend to be lawyers, right? So half the time you're a lawyer asking questions, cross-examining, and then the other half of the time you're a witness, right? So I get a lot of students who perform really well in theater and they love being witnesses. And then I have other students who are very analytical and they want to just think through the problems and they want to just ask all these grilling questions. It's an amazing class. It is a competitive class. So you can see in the pictures that every year we go to the courthouse downtown. So that's at the Superior Courthouse. Parents, if you ever had jury duty, you're probably dreading those pictures, but that's where we go. They present in front of real judges and real attorneys. So they come out in the robes. You can see that we teach them how to dress nice, right? no brown shoes with black belts. We want to make sure that everybody's looking crisp. And it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. We have some really supportive community members. We have an attorney coach who meets with us weekly. He comes in and explains the law to the kids. He works with the kids. We have several judges who will oftentimes, when we go on our field trips, let us like rent out their room. So we eat pizza with the judge, and then we get to sit in their chair and we get to kind of act out our case. We also will observe cases. Sometimes we'll go to the district courthouse where the students will get tours from the U.S. Marshals. That's always a fun one when, you know, they get to lock me up in handcuffs. They take them into this holding cell, kind of show them where they don't want to be, right? They want to be on the other side of the table. So it's an incredible class. We've been super successful. I've been teaching it now. This is my 6th year. We've gone to the state tournament 4 out of the 5 years. The past 2 years have qualified 2 teams for state, which is pretty impressive. So out of the top 16 teams in the state, we had 2 of those, and both times we placed in the top 10 out of the state competition. And then last year, while we're celebrating in these pictures, in the Tucson region, there were so many teams, they actually split the teams into 2 regions, and we were lucky enough or maybe prepared enough to win both of those regions. So I was really proud of our teams. Taking first place in both of those regions was an incredible achievement, and I'm super proud of the work that they did. Do all my students go on to be lawyers? Well, it's been a couple of years, and I have a few students now who are seniors in college, and a few of them are pursuing law school. And so that'll be kind of cool to see how that matriculates. But honestly, a lot of the kids just like the class. It's a fun class. It really helps them improve their public speaking. That seems to be the #1 thing. And maybe Zoe can attest to this, and she did an outstanding job. So she's a testament to that. But a lot of these kids want to be doctors. They want to be teachers. They want to be other things besides lawyers, but they understand the benefits of this class, working together, working as a team. And I think, you know, these pictures kind of show the connection that they have, and that connection is something that kids have in any of the clubs that they're in, whether it be DECA, whether it be the sports medicine. All of these things are an amazing place, and really building that community into the day. So that's mock trial in a nutshell. It is a really awesome class, and it is open to freshmen. So a lot of the kids will join as freshmen, and then they stick with me for 4 years. I don't know why, but they do. And so we have them come back over and over again. And it's a really cool process to watch them learn and grow as they go. So thank you so much. And I'll turn it back over to you, Dr. Sislak.
Thank you. I joked, I said we had a really strong mock trial program at university. And once Jeremy cleaned our clocks, I said, it's time to move over to Tanque Verde so I can be with Winter. So that was pretty impressive to win both. So we have some of our families here today that are already in our Tanque Verde, outstanding Tanque Verde district. Amazing. So if that's the case, we're really excited to welcome you through our pipeline, through Emily Gray, into our school. Some of you might have chosen to leave the district for middle school, but you still live in the district. Then that's great too. You're still part of our Tanque Verde community. If you live outside of our district and you are not currently at Emily Gray, we'd love to invite you to apply for open enrollment. So we are opening spots for students that live outside of the district and don't attend Emily Gray already. You can visit our Tanque Verde Public Unified School District website. This is the direct link for open enrollment. We will be asking middle school students that you'll have to submit report cards. If there are anybody, is there anybody in the room that is a current high school student, will need your transcripts. Also, if you want a tour, if you would like to visit campus and spend some time getting, asking some questions and having some one-on-one, you can email my office manager, Mary Montano, at mmontano@tanque.org, and she will set up an appointment with me, one of our counselors, and AP, so that you can have that experience. We're happy to give you a tour and show you our campus. So at this time, I'm going to stop this share, but I want to make it available for questions. I I have a couple of questions about our golf program. So because we're a small school, our golf program is in the spring. And so boys and girls golf will be in the spring. Our home course is 49ers. We do have a returning program. In the past, we try not to do cut sports unless we absolutely are just at capacity. It's unsafe. But golf is becoming more and more popular. Currently, it is not a cut sport, but that hopefully will happen this spring. I think that's a sport that we can probably do a good job with social distancing. We don't do contact golf here at Tanque Verde, so we should be okay in that regard. We are our community is predominantly middle class. We have a growing diverse program. So in the last 2 years, we have doubled our Latino population, African American population. So we are still predominantly white. We're about 70% Caucasian, but that our percentage of students from different demographics is growing, and we're really excited because that presents an enormous opportunity for our students to attend a diverse and rich environment with students of different ideas and backgrounds. We are also pleased that we have one of the highest percentages in our school district. I know the Velosa family, and you might be able to speak to this percentage better than I can. I hate to put you on the spot. If not, I can email this parent privately. But we have one of the highest percentage of classroom funding going into the classroom and not to administrative services, either at the district or the school level. And that's something that we are incredibly proud of. I think if it's not the highest, it's one of the highest in the city. I'm going to unmute you, Anne. Do you think, is that correct? This is one of our board members who's visiting.
Okay, yeah, absolutely right. And that was in our bond material that we are, as a school district, compared to our peers, a large amount of our funding actually stays in the classroom.
So I mean, I hate to give the exact percentage, but I know some districts are proud of like 51%. I know we've exceeded that number. I can get that number if you're interested specifically from our superintendent, but it's a pretty big deal that the majority of our state funding goes directly to the classroom, our teachers, and our students. If you are already in Emily Gray and you want to continue, that is part of the process that you'll be able to continue with us at Tanque Verde High School. You're already in our track. So we're really excited to have you. So French is one of the languages that we are looking to offer next year. We have several outstanding candidates we're meeting with. We have an outstanding Spanish program, to be honest with you. It's exceptional. And we like to say that language is not a foreign language, it's a local language, because we have a percentage of people in Tucson that speak Spanish is greater than those even who speak English. And so that's a fantastic language to learn, but also learning French, there's amazing benefits. It's really a gateway to Middle East and Africa. And so there's a ton of opportunity, not just in Europe and North America to speak French, but also in other parts of the world. But we do value learning another language. We're one of the few countries in the world that most of our citizens don't speak most languages that are native of the United States. And so it's important. There will never be an employer that tells you that they don't like the fact that you can speak other languages. That's an incredibly important skill for you to have. Any other questions in the chat? Okay, so adventure sports. So we recognize that team sports might not be for everybody, that some students might not want to play traditional kickball or weight training or baseball, softball, football, soccer. And so our adventure sports does a really nice job of talking about how to stay physically fit, but also with hiking. They go to, they do hikes with colossal caves. They go to rocks and ropes, and they really try to teach some of these life fitness activities that as an adult, I can attest it's pretty hard to get a group of friends together to play football. I have not been very successful tracking down 20 of my closest friends, but we want our students to learn how to play things like tennis, go on hikes, go mountain biking, taking advantage of the beautiful climate that we have here in Tucson. I can go back to our, if you go to the Tanque Verde Unified School District website, I'm going to share this one more time so that you guys can see it and get this website. And this is the direct link. If you go to www.tanqueverdeschools.org /open enrollment, that is where you can apply for open enrollment. We'll also be asking for report cards. If you're coming in from a middle school, if you're already in high school, we'll want transcripts. So we'll be starting to review those applications shortly, because we would love for you to have all of your high school decisions buckled down so that you're all set for next year. And again, you're also welcome to email Mary Montano to set up a tour or set up additional meetings that we can have and include teachers and programs if you want more information. I love, it's one of my favorite things to do is meet with new students and do campus tours. And we're really excited to give you all the information you need, because I said it's a big deal. And there's things that you should be asking when you're shopping for schools, and what kind of student support are they going to be offering. We're also excited that because we invest more funds into our classroom and our teachers, our class sizes are significantly smaller than our surrounding school districts, where in our surrounding school districts, you're going to see a high school class with 36 as the average class size, and our classes are looking at anywhere from 22 to 27 on average, a little bit bigger if it's kind of a niche class, that there aren't a lot of sections. So we're really thrilled that we can offer that one-on-one support and really foster that community so that our students can be successful. There are tech clubs and opportunities for students who are really interested in technology. We also have a Racing the Sun team, and we have some students which is the solar car racing, and we have students that are involved in robotics and other activities on campus. Good one, yeah, Mr. Samoy said the robotics club. If you're already in the district, you do not need to apply for open enrollment. You would just be able to contact our office directly. And I'm going to put in the chat that you can do that through Karen Maller. And she can set you up for enrollment. If you're not sure, you can email her too. And she's so lovely, and she will help you and make sure that that you are all set, and she will tell you where you live. And if not, she'll also email you that open enrollment link so you can take care of it. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I will stick around for a little bit longer. So if you think of something or you want to wait until there's fewer people, you're welcome to do so. I've recorded this so I can post it on our website and our Facebook later. So if you have any friends or family that missed it and they would like to check it out, but we're really excited. As you know, we passed a bond. We also have some facility funding coming in. So it's an exciting time that we'll be remodeling and adding about 30,000 square feet of new student space, including potentially a new student union. And so with our growing programs, the existing programs we have, the dynamic teachers you heard from tonight, the students that you heard from, that's a really authentic representation of our kids. This is really an amazing place to be, and we're really excited to welcome you next year. Yeah, class of 2025. Woo. Regis in Denver, Miss Syeth? That's amazing. It's an expensive school too. Congratulations.